Hi, I'm Jo, Learning and Development Manager from Unique Senior Care, and this is David, Advisor with Alzheimer Society.
Hello.
Thank you so much for agreeing to join us for the video.
You're very welcome. Firstly, I'll explain about what Alzheimer Society is and does. So Alzheimer Society is the #1 dementia charity in this country. We are a national care and research organisation, and our vision is a world where dementia no longer devastates lives. That's a big vision, but we need to aim big. We understand all aspects of dementia, and we support and advise people. We fund groundbreaking research, and we campaign for change. My own role, I'm Birmingham and Solihull community-based dementia advisor, and we have a team of about 25 people, and we cover, rather obviously, Birmingham and Solihull, but the role I do is very similar to other roles around the country, but not identical in every case. So the role that I do, as I say, I'm community-based, and I do home visits to people living with dementia and their carers. I also do outreach work, so I deliver Dementia Friends sessions, which is an awareness session. We also run Singing for the Brain, and we also connect people with other services. But that's in a nutshell.
Over the years, we've had so much support from Alzheimer Society. We've been very grateful for all of the different connections we've made, the resources that we've been able to utilise with our clients and our carers. So it's been an important partnership for us, and we're really excited that we're building on that, and that you've been involved with the Memory Cafe recently and again very soon as well.
Yes, it's been lovely, thank you.
So part of your role is visiting people, but can you tell us exactly what might happen on a visit like that?
Well, Jo, what we do, we make an initial phone call. So the person has come through our system. So they've already either spoken to someone or a referral has been made on their behalf with their consent. So once I get to speak to the person, we have a chat. Sometimes they don't want a home visit, but most of the time a home visit is the right thing to do. We find out a little bit about the person, and we make an arrangement, time and date that suits that person. And amongst the various things we can provide, we provide emotional support. So we're not counsellors or therapists, but we do provide very good emotional support. We also connect people to local support groups, so dementia cafes, carers groups, anything that's relevant to their needs in their community. We also try to help people understand that, how it is to live with dementia in terms of any issues that they may have. So any behaviours that they are experiencing, going back to emotions that they're feeling, maybe practical support. Support with everyday living. So for example, we may give them information about benefits, we may give them information about lasting power of attorney. So we don't advise on those, but we are very good at giving people information about those things, and possibly about how to make their home more dementia friendly. We're never judgmental, but obviously if people need tips and advice on their own home, we're there to help them. And we can do all sorts of things as well. It really depends on the individual.
Thank you. It sounds like an extremely valuable service.
Yes, thank you.
David, what advice would you give to someone who's just received a diagnosis of dementia? Where should they go from there?
Well, we would love to hear from them. So we would love to hear from either the person living with dementia or possibly a carer, family members, friends. We just want to support everyone. So what we would say is get as much medical support as you can. We're not medical, but get as much medical support and advice as you can. Also remain active. So we always say in terms of diet as well, what's good for the heart is good for the brain. So a good balanced diet. In terms of remaining active, we're talking about remaining physically active and also socially active. Definitely stimulation, social stimulation is so important. So we would urge people to not lose that ability. We would also say contact our service. So Dementia Advisors, we can call out or we can offer telephone advice, and we can support people going through their own journey. And we do recognise that everyone's experience is different. Everyone is at a different stage. Everyone has a different family structure. Everyone has a different approach. So we're there to support everybody, as I say, carers and people living with dementia. We'd also encourage people to get involved in wonderful groups, dementia cafes, also community groups. Places of worship can help, community centres and day centres. So people may wish to consider attending day centres. And we can put people in touch with those services. So again, we don't want anyone to feel alone. We are there for people throughout the whole process. And we'll also put people in touch with local authority. So for example, they may want to consider a care needs assessment, or the carer may consider a carer's assessment. And having said all of that, it really would depend on the individual, but those, in a nutshell, are the kind of things that we'd recommend.
That sounds like really good advice. And as you say, it needs to be individualised to each person, which is
Yes.
a big emphasis from what you're saying. Yeah.
Yes, so we have our generic services, but we do recognise that we really need to listen to people and their issues.
Yeah, so important.
Yeah.
Tell me, David, how does the Alzheimer Society collaborate with organisations like memory cafes?
Well, we have a list on our database of all the memory cafes that we know of. So, for example, the Unique Care Cafe in Dorridge is on our list, and we signpost to that, and we know that it's going very well. We also signpost to any memory cafe or cafe maybe for older people or for younger people that we think would be suitable for people living with dementia. We also signpost carers to carers groups as well. So Carers Trust are an important outlet for people. They can get support from Carers Trust. So some of it will be signposting, where we just give details and we say, well, this is where and when. You just turn up and hope it goes really well, and we'll call you and see how it's going. Sometimes it will be a referral depending on the group. So for example, for daycare, we may need to help people with a referral, or we may do maybe some research to find out if the group's suitable. But again, going back to individual needs, we would find hopefully the right kind of groups to suit that person, both in terms of transport, because some do provide transport, but also what we would say, I've always said this to someone, don't just go once, go more than once, because you never know. You may like it. It's like with anything. You try something. It's like going to school. Go on day 2, see how that feels, or day 2 of your job. We always say, give it a chance. And there are lots and lots of groups around. So again, for people that come to us who maybe are not sure about what's available, we do have extensive lists of availability, and most of them we have our own experience of attending. We also do something called Singing for the Brain, which is run by Alzheimer's Society. It's not a choir, but it's a guided sing-along. It's a therapeutic session, and in our area we have about 4 or 5 of them. They're once a month each, and people turn up for about an hour and a half. They get refreshments, they do a few vocal exercises, and then a good old sing-along. And we probably don't have time here to talk about the benefits of music therapy, but obviously in the news a lot is said about choirs. Well, this may not be a choir, but it's a guided sing-along, and it's absolutely wonderful, and you'd be welcome to come along to one of them because they are fantastic.
I think we'd love to do that
Yes.
in future, yeah.
Please do.
Yes. Thank you so much again, David, for joining us today for this video and for all of the ways that you've been collaborating with us at Unique Care and the Memory Cafe. We really look forward to that ongoing relationship in the future as well. Can you tell us one last thing? If somebody wants to contact Alzheimer Society, how do they do that?
Thank you, Jo. Well, whether you're somebody living with dementia or worried about your memory or at any stage of your journey, or if you're a carer, or if you need to know anything about dementia, please do contact our support line. So the dementia support line is 0333 150 3456. You can also go to our website and you can also email us. And our website is very useful because on top of everything else, we have loads and loads of fact sheets and help sheets. We also have online support, and we just want to hear from you, and we are with you for the whole journey. Thank you.
Thanks, David. There will be a link to the website in the description below the video, and we'll also add some other useful links that may be helpful to you if you're on this journey.